Welcome to Wow, Look at Us Now podcast. I'm your host, Rochelle Onslager.
And I'm Michael Onslager.
What up, fam?
Whoa.
What up? Welcome to the Wow, Look at Us Now podcast. I'm Rochelle Onslager. What's your name, sir?
I'm hubby.
This is Renee.
Yeah.
I call him Renee because
Everybody's middle name is Renee.
I said that everyone's middle name's Renee. So, well, you know what? We gotta get down with it because we're talking about social media. So, you know, this is a little bit, what do you want to call? I'm your hype girl. Anyways, this is off a whole different subject. I call him Renee because I think that everyone's middle name is Renee, everyone and their mother. So when I say it, I'm like, okay. When I asked him when I don't know why. I've known him since I was 4 years old, but I never knew his middle name, I guess. And so when we started like talking and hanging out as friends, I was like, what's your middle name anyways? He's like, guess. I'm like, Renee. And he was like, no. And I was like, yeah, Michael Renee.
You had your aunt convinced in South Carolina that my middle name was Renee.
Yeah, I said his middle name was Renee.
And they're like, what?
She's like, what? How do you even talk? How do you talk Southern accent? I don't know. You're gonna try it on her?
I'm gonna try.
Why?
I'll butcher it.
You're really good at impressions, though.
She's like, oh, what? I didn't know that was your name.
Okay, yeah, you butchered it.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Anyways.
I like that you tried it on here, though. I'm proud of you. That was actually really funny. Oh, what is your name? And the dance. Yo. Okay.
I threw y'all in there, so it was southern. It was
okay.
southern enough.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Need to get myself together. Calm down.
We're talking about social media today.
Take a hold of it. Okay.
I'm super stoked about this one.
I don't know why.
Just because
It's a love-hate relationship.
I have a lot to talk about it. I'm obviously not gonna be able to go over everything, but I
Okay, then maybe you should start with me first, because you're saying too much already. You laugh. Can't tell. I'm really not gonna like hearing this laugh on here. I'm definitely gonna judge myself, but okay. Okay, so since we're talking about social media, I'll just start. So, when did you get rid of social media, and why did you get rid of it?
So for the people out there that don't know, I don't have social media.
Yeah, I just said, so when did you get rid of social
Well, all you
media?
just said
And
was when did you get rid of it?
When did you get rid of it, and why?
I just wanted to address it. Thank you.
Okay, and why'd you get rid of it?
Okay, so I got rid of Facebook when I was like 16. I kept Messenger.
That's when it came out, bro.
I know.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I kept Messenger. I was like 16 or 17. I kept my Messenger, just so I could, because I had a bunch of family on there, and I would talk to my family. But I hated Facebook, and it was just, yeah, I just really didn't like Facebook.
I would say the only reason why there's parts of me that got rid of Facebook at one time is because like I hated seeing people go back and forth. Like it was like really long posts, and that's why I liked Instagram better at first.
That was the thing, is it was rants and raves, and I'm not that person to like.
I'm not
to
gonna
read out the whole. And I mean, if people want to do it, totally fine. Like, do
No,
you?
you definitely read the comments.
Do you? Boo? Oh yeah,
I don't ever
the
comment on anything. I'll read it. It depends. But then if it's really like about like major subjects, I'm so not like.
Yeah.
Well, when we talk about major subjects, that's our whole point of our podcast.
No, but
in the same way, I'm just like
I don't read people's rants and raves, or I didn't read people's rants and raves.
Yeah.
I would rather have like a conversation with that person about it than read it online.
So you got
because it's not just that I don't care about that person. It's just I don't care to read it on my phone. Like I'd rather just like talk to that person and actually have a conversation face to face. So I got rid of that at 18 or 17, 18, something like that. Anyways,
16.
I don't know. I really don't remember. That's what I'm saying is like I haven't had Facebook in forever.
And you just kept Messenger.
I just kept Messenger.
Well, then when did you get rid of Messenger?
Probably like a year later.
Oh, I was gonna say you're like a year ago.
Or 19. I don't know. I was in my pre-20s, my late teens when I got rid of it. And then I had Instagram and
Twitter, probably.
I had a Twitter at like 14, and I had it for legit like
Like, is that old? Oh my gosh.
it was when I lived in Medford. I had it for like 4 months, and because I didn't really know how to navigate it, and I didn't have like a lot of friends on there, I got rid of it. I was like, this is boring. Like, and I went back to like Facebook and Instagram and stuff. So, anyways, I had a Facebook, Instagram, and then I kept my Instagram, and I had Snapchat, and that was pretty much it, as far as social media goes. And then,
Well, why did you get rid of it though?
well, uh, 2 years ago, 3 years, 2.5 years ago, I got rid of it. Because it's just a comparison thing, man. Like, it's not just that. There's literally probably 40 reasons why I got rid of it. Like, it just was not.
Them out.
I know.
We were talking about social media.
It was the return on investment was not there.
Yeah.
The reason for me, the excuses I could have had for having social media did not outweigh the negativity of me having social media. And that doesn't mean that everybody else has that same. Some people
have their business.
Yeah, some people do have. Yeah, they do have a good return on investment.
Yeah.
For me, I didn't.
Yeah.
Emotionally, I was drained. I noticed that my time got sucked away because I was just stuck in it. Anytime I was bored, I would go to that. And I noticed that when I deleted it, like I would go to like in my phone and be like, oh yeah, I don't have it anymore. And so I noticed those habits where I was like, I'm glad I got rid of it. And I definitely was a person, like, I didn't even realize it, but I would start comparing my life. And I'm like, oh, I'm not where I want to be. I'm not want to be here or here or here because everybody else around me, like, it's the grass is greener on the other side kind of thing. Man, it's hard. It was hard for me to even have it around. Like, my mental health started going downhill just because it's like I got sucked into this wormhole, and
So
then
you have like
and then all this stuff,
depression, and all this
and then all this stuff that I wanted was popping up. So I'm like, oh, I want that, I want this, I want that. It turned into like I want.
And then it's like sending you in like probably in financial crisis too because.
No, I never really spent a whole lot.
Oh, well, I was just meaning in like in general, and some people because there's advertisements.
Yeah,
that's
and
hard for
yeah,
me.
and some
Sometimes
people
I'm like,
it is.
And if it's like, oh, that's $20.
I'm like, I mean, I spend money, but I try to be pretty frugal, and because I'm a guilty person. When I spend more than like $30 on something, I feel really guilty sometimes, and so it wasn't like that. But for me,
I wish I could be like that.
For me though, it was like I want that, and I know either A, I can't buy it, or B, I won't buy it. It was just like a constant reminder or whatever, or seeing other people with those things. Like it was a hard thing because it was just comparison. There was pressure from everything. Like literally, because I tried to never post anything that I wouldn't be okay showing my grandma. You know, I tried to live by that as far as what I post.
Well, some grandmas are okay with everything.
Yeah, not my grandma. My grandma was not that way. So I was very, very careful about what I posted. And and that was a part for me too. It's like it was an image thing too, because I'm like, oh, I can't post this because then that would destroy my image as far as the people around me. I cared too much about the people around me in the sense of what they thought of me, and I didn't care about what I actually thought of myself, because I wasn't looking at what I was thinking of myself. I was looking at what others thought of me, and that was another thing. Like getting into the people pleasing and always wanting to be in the best image of everybody, like. I wasn't real with myself, and then I wasn't real with other people. Like when I got rid of social media, I started being more real with myself, and I started being more like, hey, no, this is my issues. These are my problems. This is what I deal with. You know, I started becoming more real when I got rid of it. And like I'm saying, like other people can have it and not have those problems. I just noticed that for me, it was an issue, and I did have those problems when I had it. Now that I don't have it, man, I love it. I get so stressed when like people try to show me like, oh, look what this person said about this on this picture. Isn't that dumb or isn't that rude? And I'm like, like I'm so glad, because I used to do that. I used to be like, oh, they didn't like it, or oh, this person didn't view my story, or oh, I only got this many likes on it. Like,
yeah, it's kind of controlling.
Well, for me, it was exhausting.
Yeah.
It's exhausting mentally because you're thinking about and you're going back, like while you're working, like, did they check out my story? No, they didn't. Or you text someone and they don't answer you back, and then you go on social media and it shows that they're online, and you're like, and then you're mad.
Yeah,
because
that's how that generation is.
Yeah, because then it's like, oh, well, they're on Facebook, but they're not. I have a really important message that I sent them, or they didn't answer my call. But realistically, like, come to find out, they didn't even have their phone on them, but the app was open in their phone, so that you never know what it could be. Like, they actually weren't on social media, or who knows, maybe they were, and they just
No.
were ignoring you.
Definitely red flag.
Yeah.
Definitely were. Definitely that happens.
But I noticed all of this stuff that was causing like
Yeah.
anxiety and stress and causing me to not be myself. And I was like, I'm done. Like, I'm not gonna be doing this anymore. I definitely people feel like they can be like keyboard warriors too and say things that they wouldn't say in person. And I wasn't really that way. I was like, oh, if I'm gonna put
That's
this out
true.
there, I'm like, if I'm gonna put this out
They're
there,
real bold online.
Yeah.
And then
Oh,
in
yeah.
person, they didn't want to look
See,
at you.
and-
And I'm
and-
like, oh yeah.
my thing is like I was never that person to put something out there just to start stuff. Like I wanted the least amount of drama on social media, and I wasn't that person to just be like, oh, I hate when such and such and such. Which there was times where I had a few things, but it was like about huge subjects, life and death subjects, whatever the case may be. But I was not that kind of person. Like I'd rather tell it to someone's face. And then when I got rid of social media, it really made me think about too, what you tell people over online. It's a huge thing because you can ruin someone's life. Like there's cyberbullying. There's even if it's not bullying, like just like if I told someone, oh, this person did such and such, if I'm not willing to tell that to that person's face, or I'm not telling it to someone who's trusted, or someone who I can vent to or something like that. I notice it causes a lot of issues like that because you're like, then it's, oh, I heard through the grapevine.
Well, it's
that-
gossiping.
Yeah, I
It's
heard
a
through the
huge thing.
grapevine, or I heard through this person, or I noticed there was less stuff like that going around too. Like, there's no way to play the telephone game if it's just me and you right here. I took out the middleman. I took out everybody else because I wasn't on social media throwing out all this stuff that could just be assumed or whatever. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so 2 years, more than 2 years, 3 years, almost.
Well,
social
social media is also Snapchat too.
Yeah, I got rid of that probably like
Which is-
6 months after we started dating.
Yeah.
So I haven't even had that.
And why though?
So before we started dating, I got rid of all girls because I was like, okay, because I knew that stuff that you had gone through in the past.
Yeah.
And I was like-
this disclaimer. Let's clarify. I did not ask him to do this.
No,
I
I
had
kn-
no idea. No, I'm just saying.
Yeah. No, I'm
I know that
I'm
you
saying that I knew that for me to build trust with you, I knew that I was gonna have to like show with my actions like I'm serious about you.
Yeah.
So when
this
you
was totally your
this is
idea.
when we were just friends. Like we hadn't even talked about dating. I had gone on and the friends that followed me on Snapchat, that were girls, I was like, hey, I'm just letting you guys know, like, I'm very serious about this girl, and in order to progress with a relationship with her, I'm not going to be talking to you guys anymore. Just out of respect for her, and that in the future of a potential relationship, like, I also, they already knew because I had already cut them off a couple of times when I got into a relationship before. So they already knew that when I'm in a relationship, like, I'm serious and I don't talk to other females unless it's like having to deal with stuff through through my work or whatever, or our family members. But I told them straight up, like, I'm like, hey, I've already done this before, so it's nothing new to you guys, but I am interested in this girl and I do want to pursue a relationship with her. So I got rid of all girls off my Snapchat. It was just my cousin and some guy friends on Snapchat, and that's because that's how a lot of them would even communicate to me. They wouldn't even text me, so it was through Snapchat. And yeah, you didn't even know about that for a while, but
Yeah.
then I told you like, hey,
No, actually, I mean, I was like, what the heck? I'm like, who is this? I mean, like, I knew who you were, but I
yeah,
was
it was a
like,
huge leap
what?
for me because I was like, I could have totally just shot myself in the foot and got rid of some friends or whatever.
Well, not only that, you like let me know like a little bit later, like when you wanted to tell me like how you felt. You
Yeah,
were like,
I was like, hey,
hey, I got rid of all the girls on Snapchat and in your phone and
Yeah.
whatever, because you didn't have social media except Snapchat then.
Yeah.
So you got all of it, and you're like, hey, this is my intention. I'm really serious about this, and I want to pursue you, kind of thing. And here's my passwords to all my social so Snapchat, and then
And
like
then
your
my phone.
phone and stuff like that. You're like, here's all my passwords, and we were literally just friends then, and it freaked me
Yeah.
out.
You have this
I literally
like
was
this
like,
guy who's like in like
I was like, no, this is sketch. Like, I don't like this. Like, I am so not used to it. It was so unfamiliar to me. I was
yeah
like, there's a reason. Like, he's gonna hold this over my head, or this is control, this is abuse.
yeah
Like, like from our
yeah
last episode of like what I've been through. That's just I'm used to like something like that happening and it getting held over your head or used against you.
yeah
Like a way to manipulate and
yeah
control
yeah
you.
yeah.
So I'm like, oh, I'm like, no, I'm like, this is actually kind of scary. Even though I knew it, I was like, wow, this is amazing. That was actually a confirmation that I had in my journal about like, not saying that they
A
just
future
gave me,
husband.
not
Yeah.
like to that sense, like not saying like they need to give me all passwords and they need to. It's just like that was a step to building trust, being like.
Yeah.
He's literally just friends with me, and I'm not even like talking about dating him yet.
Yeah.
And he wanted to go above and beyond. I'm like, this guy ain't messing around.
No, I was
He's a
very,
real deal
I was
right now.
very serious. I had finally
So
seen
hot.
someone that actually like, loved Jesus and was like,
Love
was
Jesus.
serious about a marriage.
Yeah,
Because
do
I
you-
was serious about
Do you
marriage.
remember when I took that video of you? Because you were like, you told me that, you said that like, I said, when did you know that you like really liked me or you loved me or something like that? And you're like, yeah, when you told me like, I'll leave you for Jesus or something. What? Do you
Oh
remember what I'm
yeah,
talking
no,
about?
it said, how did you know that you wanted to be with me or something like that? And it said and I had said that when you had stated that you would drop any
Like
man
it's
for
more
you would drop
important.
men for Jesus, like that's how important Jesus is for you. I was like, that's
Oh.
I was like, that's so hot. Like, but
But I was
realistically,
for
like
real. I was like, no, he
well, and
comes
that's
first.
what I had been looking for my whole life. Because like with social media, like you can see people talk the talk.
Well, yeah.
You can see people talk all day long
yeah.
about how much they love Jesus, but until you really get to know that person outside of that social media is a great way to
Verse
outreach.
in your bio.
Yeah,
Red flag. Just
yeah.
kidding. I'm totally kidding, by the way. I did have one.
For you to like, I mean, use social media as outreach for people, like that is amazing. Like,
Yeah.
but if you don't walk the walk with the talk, like it gets confusing and it gets
Well,
hard.
that's 'cause the
But for
image
to
these
see
days.
you actually like walk the walk, I was like, okay. So that's why I got serious about it. But I got rid of, so getting back on topic, like with Snapchat, I got rid of Snapchat probably 6 months into us like dating and stuff.
Yeah. Maybe less than that.
And
I
it
honestly think it was like 4.
probably,
It doesn't matter. Whatever.
but Snapchat was designed to send nudes and stuff like that. It was designed to delete stuff and to not have
It's straight up
accountability.
sneaky.
It was to not have accountability. Now Snapchat has turned into something that it is a social media. Like people converse, people do stuff. Obviously they still do bad things on it too. But all I had was my guy friends on there, but it was still an area of like, okay, this is causing some distrust just because of the things that could happen, and there was no like real accountability. Like you could go through my text messages
Yeah.
and see if things were deleted or not deleted, whatever the case may be.
Snapchat's not
But with
like that.
Snapchat, you couldn't. So it was an area of like, okay, there's an open door here that nothing's happening,
Yeah.
but it's still an open door.
Yeah.
So for me, it was like, okay, the return on investment. Back to that same thing with other social media. Okay, am I getting
Is your
more?
relationship more important?
Yeah,
than-
am I getting a good investment, a return on investment in me having this app, me using it, me talking to my friends when I could just text them, send pictures through that, whatever the case may be. And the negatives outweighed the positives,
Yeah.
And when this relationship, when our marriage comes first or our dating comes first above my other guy friends or whatever, then it was a no-brainer. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get rid of this, and I did. And
Well, you could just text them because all you guys were doing was really just texting. each
yeah,
other
just
on it.
texting on it, or like sending a picture of like crazy stuff at work, like
But you could
my
just
buddy
do that
hitting a
in
turkey or
texting,
whatever.
yeah.
But yeah, you can just do that in texting. So for me, it was a no-brainer. So I got rid of it, and already not having social media for the longest time, like I'm such an old soul already
Yeah.
that it was like, because you always said like you can always have it back or you never had to get rid of it. I'm like, yeah, but I'm like, I don't have the
but it made
desire
me-
anymore.
Yeah, but it made me feel guilty, like being in like a
Yeah,
relationship
I know.
beforehand like that you get blamed and accused for everything. Even if you're
Yeah.
not the one doing it, it's the opposite because
Yeah.
they're the ones that are doing it. So you always it made me scared. Like I'm like I don't want to feel like I'm being controlling, and so I didn't even ask you to do it the first place. So then I'm like, no, I don't want him to like hold
Yeah.
this against me. I don't want him to resent me over this, even though I didn't even ask him to do this.
Yeah.
But you were like You came to me and told
Yeah.
me that's what you did.
Well, and for the longest time, you know, who knows? Maybe we'll build some more trust in that area because we were just dating at the time.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll build some more trust, and then I'll download Snapchat again eventually. And like 3 months had gone by, and I'm like, I'm okay without it. Like, I don't even want that anymore. Like,
Yeah.
I gotten so used to not having any social media that I was like, this is pretty great. Like, and not having, and it also goes back to like pornography too. Like my struggle with pornography that I like Instagram, like I followed all I followed was some close family and friends, and then guns and knives and dogs and stuff like that. So even in like certain things like the search bar or whatever you go to that, like even if all all your friends that you have, because social media builds
Well, it's an
algorithms.
explorer.
Yeah, social media though builds algorithms on what you look at, what you want, but then also they throw stuff in there that is a huge seller. That so I'd have like guns and my friends, and then I'd have, and it wasn't even like a dirty picture, but it was like
Something that could trigger you.
yeah,
There's
something that can trigger. So it was like an
maybe-
open door, and then another open door, just sprinkled in throughout.
It's like planting a seed in your
Yeah,
mind.
sprinkled in throughout social media. So for me, it was like, okay, like if I want to win this battle, I'm like, I got to get rid of it. Like, there's just no, and this was after, you know, obviously I'd already
Yeah.
gotten rid of it, but I noticed like that helped too. Like there was less triggers. Like I was like, wow, like I noticed a huge difference night and day. Like I wasn't having to fight as hard, and
Then that's why
yeah.
I don't sell things online. That's why I don't want to be tied to like feel like that I have to. There's been a couple products that I love, and I'm like, I want to sell that. Like I love it, but just because I love the product. But I'm like, I don't actually want to do it. And I'm like, obviously, a lot of people do it, and that's their life, and that's completely fine.
Yeah.
But like for me, I know that I don't want a stronghold in social media, feeling like that I have to have it because
Yeah.
that's my income. I don't want to feel like I have to. I can't not get rid of it, like
Yeah.
because it's kind of in that area. Like I don't know. I try to trash things a lot. Like once I know it kind of has like I have an addiction or I have a stronghold or whatever like that on it, I realize like, oh, you know what? I need to get trash it.
yeah. So
So
when did you know or realize you were addicted, or know that social media, or knew that social media had an effect on you?
when did I know?
Yeah.
When I realized that. Well,
Even if you're not addicted, because I wouldn't say you're like you take breaks from social media.
so that's what.
But
yeah. So
when did you realize, like, what went off that was like, hey, this is actually kind of starting to be a problem?
when I first get up in the morning, that's the first thing I check.
Yeah.
When I realize I'm putting that before God, when I'm realizing I'm putting that before anything else.
Yeah.
Or sometimes I would just, and it wasn't like intentional or on purpose, just because I would be like, when I'm waking up, I just like know that I'm gonna fall back asleep, so I intentionally grab my phone to like look at it to keep my eyes open, and then I'll be
Yeah.
like, okay, I'm not gonna fall back asleep, you know. So it turned out it was harmless in the beginning, but
Yeah.
then it turned into a habit. But I like social media to an extent, and
Yeah.
it's a love-hate relationship with me. So
Yeah. There's times where you're like, you're fine, and you'll be sitting on the couch looking at it, talking to your sisters, whatever, like sharing stuff. Totally fine. And then I do notice, like, sometimes with you, like, where you're like, people are dumb, and you just like you set your phone down, and I'm like, oh, like,
yeah, I can't. Especially like political or like certain subjects. I'm like, I just don't want to. It's like overwhelming because it's like the back
Yeah.
and forth thing.
It's
Like,
not a s-
what is
yeah.
truth kind of thing. Like, what is the truth? Because everything online is not
Yeah.
necessarily truth.
Well, and in
Oh.
your life, that's not really a compartment or a place where,
Yeah,
you know, political stuff has a impact on your life,
yeah.
as far as
no,
like,
not too much.
you know.
Because I want to keep peace on it. But when I feel like, it's like a toxic part. I don't know. Like it just kind of similar with what your answer was. Like
Yeah.
I I take like every like few months. It's not like on purpose, but it usually is around a few months that I literally like, okay, I'm gonna take a break from it. So that's Facebook and Instagram. I don't have Twitter. I think I had it for a short time and it was good and all, but I like lost it. I'm not in that Twitter game anymore.
Not dropping fire tweets.
Yeah, I don't really care about I don't have Snapchat. I have it once in a while. I mean, of course, I wouldn't do
You
it
had it
with a
when we
relationship.
dated.
Yeah, but I like would get rid of it usually because I'm like, I just don't want this to be like
Yeah.
a temptation, or I don't want to cause problems. Like, I don't want someone else to send me stuff because that's happened before.
Yeah, we
Or
actually talked about that
yeah.
because there's stuff that happened.
I
I'm
don't
like,
want someone
wow.
else to do stuff like that,
Yeah.
and then it question me or my character or whatever. And so I'm like, nah, I'm getting rid of that too. But Facebook and Instagram, I do love it to keep in touch with people that I don't get to keep in touch with. But I feel like I try to actually use social media for good. I feel like everyone does, but I'm not doing it necessarily for image. Like, yeah, there's gonna be some things I'm not gonna share, like about like some things in our marriage. Like,
Yeah, you.
that's gonna maybe expose
That's kind of
you
a, that's
to
kind
and
of like a
stuff,
rule though. Like you don't
like
put
there's
intimate
yeah,
things
there's
like
things that don't need to be talked about
Yeah.
for sure because it's between you and me or whatever.
Yeah.
No one else, not even anyone here.
yeah.
But I knew whatever I can, like whatever I say can be, used against me or whatever. And I honestly, I'm to the point where I don't care. Like, if you don't like what I'm posting, then don't get on my stuff. But I post like other than like random like family pictures and stuff. But there's a lot of like videos and pictures I've posted with like long captions, but it's about like my vulnerability. Like, I want to help people or and be real. Like, I'm so tired of seeing fake. Like, that's why I can't like
Yeah.
handle social media sometimes because I know what really happens in some of day-to-day life and like some people's life, and then I see what they post and I'm like, Lord help me. Like, I don't think I can do this. Like, oh, this is so I'm just not that type of person. I'm a very like simple but straightforward, like what you see is what you get.
Yeah.
You're not gonna get a show with me. You're gonna like I'm not gonna hold up my image like if you don't like that. Like, I am who I am. And I don't really I mean, the older you get, the more like confident you get in yourself, so you don't care. So maybe when I was younger, maybe it was a different kind of thing. It for sure was in like some sense. But the older I get, I'm like, okay, you can see my highs, you can see my lows, you can see my
Yeah.
in-betweens. Like, I'm not gonna lie about it. Like, let's start being real. Like,
Yeah.
let's talk about the hard things. Let's be honest about like the situation, saying not all butterflies and stuff. But also, I don't go there to complain like at all because I don't like that either. Like,
Yeah.
it's super draining when you hear all people like complain and rave, and if that's your life, then I think some more positivity you could use some and
Yeah.
have your mindset. But
See, for me, it's like and I didn't even get rid of social media for this reason, but it's I like that it just naturally happened this way. Is like when people ask you, like they're like, oh, here, add me on this, or oh, add me on this, or what's your
Yeah.
handle? What's this? I'm like, I don't have one, and I got rid of it almost 2 years ago, so I was 21, and I haven't had Facebook for forever, so it was like being that young and not having and being tied down
Yeah.
to an app. For me, I was just like, that's cool.
for me, I just like there's too many voices.
Yeah.
There's too many opinions, there's too many blah blah blah. This is what you should do. Like, if you look up the internet, it's like similar how it is. Everyone voicing their opinions, and it's like overwhelming. You're like, you don't know like what to do and what actually is like harmful. Or like all these moms are like, this is what's harmful. You're like, you make your baby food, you don't feed them formula, you breastfeed, you like blah blah blah. It's so many, and I'm like, oh gosh, like,
People will start putting those opinions above God's too, because
well, yeah.
I did
well,
that.
they're not having a biblical view.
No,
Well,
I'm
not
saying,
everyone
like,
does that, but
I'm saying even walking out a relationship with God. Like, I would do that sometimes because I would post something or whatever, or I'd ask people online, or hey, what do you think about this, or what do you think about this, and I wasn't asking God like, hey God, what do you think about this?
Yeah.
All the time. So there's just things like that.
and I truly think that like a negative part, like you said, is like guarding your eyes and your heart. Like,
Yeah, because it's just going
as
in.
like in
Yeah.
a marriage, or like not even like saying that you have to be Christians, but as Christians, I know like there's a verse, and I'm gonna be terrible at it, but it talks about guarding your eyes.
Yeah.
And so for my relationship and for myself, because I don't want to stumble in certain areas as well, I have to try to guard my eyes just as well. Oh, excuse me. But I actually like there's almost impossible way to guard your eyes. Just like when you said like all the explorers thing, like I can't. I have follow friends and I know that most of them like don't do like certain stuff, but there's things that you can't escape. So it's
Yeah.
like if I'm scrolling, I don't really want you behind my back just in case.
Yeah.
And it's not because I'm hiding something, it's because I don't truly know. And there's people that I thought like that would never do something or, I'm scrolling and then you just see this huge thing,
Pretty much naked picture of a.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
and that's like common now.
Yeah.
Like all Instagram is, and it's like I'm deathly afraid, and I definitely don't want my child to have like TikTok, social media, any kind of like Snapchat, Twitter, Instagram, everything.
So
They're allowing literally everything, even YouTube, to be honest.
yeah,
And I'm like
so-
getting real upset about it, especially
even
like
TikTok,
as a
'cause,
parent.
like TikTok isn't like a social media where you like just post whatever. Like it's videos,
Oh, you
it's
can
funny
post
videos.
whatever in the videos.
No, I'm saying like it's not like Facebook or Instagram where you write a bunch of stuff or write a rate
yeah.
or write, TikTok's literally just videos of stuff. But I even got rid of TikTok. Like I had TikTok for like a year maybe. And it was fine at the first like 3 or 4 months, but then things got less strict as time went on, like as far
Yeah.
as what you could post on there. And it was like, I mean, like you'd even hit dislike video. Like I don't want to see stuff like that. And then sure
they
enough, here you
still
go,
throw it in
another
there.
half naked person like dancing or whatever. And so I was like, I gotta get rid of this because it's just like it wasn't once again worth
It could be a
keeping it on my
stumbling
phone.
block,
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
So I got one more question for you. If you had to give up one of your social medias forever, which app would it be and why?
I honestly don't know. It goes between, I don't know.
Finito, done, no more, ever again. And this is a hard question for some people because
Well, they're, like,
a lot of people think
similar.
like, oh, I could always just re-download it, or and I'm like, no, like you can never access this app again.
I think
And it could be TikTok, Instagram,
probably
Snapchat, whatever it
Instagram.
is. Instagram.
Maybe, I don't know. I think because on Facebook you can have friends, and I ain't gonna lie, knowing me, I definitely don't follow a bunch of people. Like that's
Yeah.
why that's me guarding my eyes or me just not wanting to see certain stuff. So I have a
Yeah.
ton of friends on Facebook, but I don't follow a lot of people. So when and you have a feature that you don't have to follow people, so I can choose what I see. Like they can see whatever, but you have the control on what you see.
Yeah.
Well, not on what they're post, but like as people. That's kind of I guess how Instagram is if you're following that person as well.
Yeah, I think
But
they have
you-
some of the same features like that. At least when I had it, you could let people see some of your stuff,
Well,
like private, not private
Well,
kind
yeah,
of
I
thing.
guess in a way. I don't know. I think I might just do that because it's different. Just different. You could just see just a post. I mean, they can do it on either one, but maybe Instagram because I feel like that's gotten worse over time and like
I don't-
comparison and the thoughts about like myself
Yeah,
because like maybe I wouldn't think myself as worse or as bad as I think until I see stuff on Instagram. So again, it's like comparison. Like it's not even like what others' opinions about me. It's about what I think about myself, and it's like gonna be terrible because I'm so easily gonna tear apart myself because that's just who I am. Because I have dealt with perfectionism
Yeah.
and stuff, and me not being where I'm wanting to be all the time, like body wise, whatever, like workout. It's everything can so easily. What's the word? Influence you. They
Yeah.
can so easily influence you, and that obviously that can happen on Facebook, like any of them, 100%.
Yeah.
But I think that maybe Instagram has a little bit more hold, so I know like what's healthy for me is I'm gonna take a break probably from it, and especially when I feel like overwhelmed or my mental health starts going a different way, or I'm like
Get
feeling
rid of
like
it.
there's too
Yeah.
many opinions and it's like wasting my time and I don't have time for things anymore. The first thing I get rid of is social media when I'm like have too much going on and I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't do this anymore. This is like overwhelming me. It's like another chore. And and like putting my phone down, I literally feel so much healthier. Like just have our uninterrupted time, like even sometimes going on walks without our phone, like kind of these days you gotta have
I mean,
you
I
have
go
to have a
I go
little
with
bit
my
of a
phone,
backup.
but I never pull it out, kind of thing.
Well, yeah, but you don't have social media. But I mean,
Yeah.
not even saying that, but I'm just like saying taking healthy breaks from and enjoying life. You literally scroll, you're missing so much of your life, and everyone's like, where'd the time go? Well, you're sitting there scrolling on your phone, and I am guilty of it, so I know, but
we watched a thing on Netflix about, and I'm not like plugging this documentary or whatever, but basically it was a documentary about the people that created social media. It's like
yeah.
these are like big wigs that like started on the ground floor, Facebook, Instagram, like,
yeah,
and
Twitter.
you are literally being watched, and there's algorithms being built around you and what you view so that they can sell you stuff, so that they can push certain things or certain
They're literally seeing when you start scrolling, like when you stop, they're seeing
much-
how long
they
you look at
literally
it. If you go back to it and look for a second, like all the stuff.
they see
I'm
how
like,
long you sit, and
"What?"
even like scrolling through, like,
Scary.
oh, he went back up 2 pages to see this person and then went back down, stayed on this ad
then
for
they keep
a whole
it.
minute, and then like they track how long you
Yeah.
are on an app. I highly recommend, if and they're not Christians in this thing, but they expose certain things, like for a natural, healthy individual outside of even the Christian realm.
Well,
of,
they
like,
don't even let their own
what-
children have
yeah,
it.
they don't
They're
even-
like, nope. It's a monster and it's manipulation and control. That's actually what.
And
they
there's
say.
a huge thing like going around right now. It's like
They can
drug
create
dealers.
things.
Drug dealers, like, the number one rule is like, don't get high on your own supply, kind of thing. And it's true though.
That's
Like,
actually a good idea.
yeah. So, well,
Well, no, I wasn't saying that. I was like, that's clever.
yeah. So, and then it shows like
Don't get high on your
other
own
people,
supply.
like social media, that people that invented it, they don't let their kids
Yeah.
spend too much time on it at all, or even ever. And so there's a lot. There's a lot to the mental health area that I highly recommend just watching the documentary, because
You don't even know what is it called though.
it's on Netflix, and it's about, I'll look it up. But it really does give you a different look on that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Documentary.
Well, I should have put some time in there because I didn't know what it was.
It is called The Social Dilemma.
Yeah, the social.
The Social Dilemma. And I hate documentaries. Well, I don't hate documentaries. I have to be really interested in them. And I didn't even want to watch it because I haven't had social media in like 2 years. And you're like, no, I want to watch this. And I'm like, well, I don't even have social media, so I don't want to watch this. But as soon as we started, I was like, whoa, like, this is crazy good. Like, I was invested, because I was like, there were so many things, because I had been away from that aspect when I watched this. So I got to see what it was like when I got to see both worlds. And so when I watched this, it was a huge breakdown of everything. But anyways,
Yeah.
it's my shameless plug for the episode.
Social Dilemma. That's right. What it is.
Yeah, Social
that's what I
Dilemma.
thought. Yeah,
Check it out.
It's pretty. I mean, it can be kind of slow and boring at first.
Yeah,
too,
but there's just so much.
But I think it just needs to be like people need to be aware.
Yeah.
Like not even saying. Like,
I'm not, and this
like,
is
it's
not
like
an
just-
episode.
but it can do damage to
Yeah,
like your
and-
brain, your eyes, your sleep, your health. Like
This is
overall health.
this is
It's a
not an
serious
episode
thing. Okay.
bashing social media, saying don't have it. I'm saying put healthy restrictions on it, or
Yeah.
or figure out where you are at mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and
Yeah.
decide from there.
Well, I honestly
Where
think
you're
I don't
gonna
even
go.
care if anyone says they don't have a problem with it. I 100% think that every single person should take a break from it, like a month break at least, a month break, and then you can get on whatever, do it again. But like, and also when I take breaks from like social media, I delete the app, like
Off
both
your
of
phone,
them,
that's what I'm
because
saying.
my thumb instantly goes there, and not even I am not
You aren't
even
even trying.
accidentally. Like I'm just opening my phone and I need to do something, and it swipes over and goes to. I'm like, what the heck? I'm
You
like,
see, you actually get to see how involved and how
Yeah.
addicted you are when you
It's-
don't have it.
It's a little bit embarrassing.
It's
but-
legit. It's coming down off of
just
what do they call it? Not coming down off of a high. Your
It's endorphins, maybe. Is
no
that
no
the
no
right
no
word?
no. It's like
Yeah, it is.
not no. You're not going into remission. You're legit going into remission. Like, you're coming down off of like when you come down off of drugs, they
it's
call
not
it going
Is
into
it?
remission. Yeah.
What else is that? I thought you were getting off like addictions. What is it called? No, I'm not talking about remission. There's something else. Okay, it doesn't matter.
Anyways, it really doesn't
Anyways.
matter. Anyways.
So you're gonna pray this one out again?
No, you're gonna do it this time.
I don't really know what to say about it though.
Just pray about healthy habits in the social media realm. Okay, I'll do it. Whatever.
You're okay. Whatever.
God, we just ask right now that you show us anywhere in our lives, or if we have social media, and the people listening, that if there's a problem anywhere, Lord, and we are using social media in a negative way, please just reveal it and show us what we need to do to counteract it, and to be to have a positive, let it have a positive influence on us. And Lord, we just ask and pray right now over the people in their image, Lord, how they view themselves, and what social media does to their view of themselves, Lord. I ask that you mend any heart that has pain and hurts, that don't feel like they even love themselves at this point in time, Lord, or have a broken image, or have a broken heart, or a broken idea of what they view others as, or themselves, Lord. And I ask that you just show up and heal that area of their life. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Right on.
Right on.
Sick brother.